On Google's search results. And for more on this change and how it will affect mobile searches and SMEs, Ben Bradshaw, founder and CEO of sponsored Lilynex, joins us now from our Brisbane studio. Ben, can you start by telling us a bit about why this date is important, well, today's date, and creating a mobile-friendly online presence for SMEs?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a major update from Google in that's going to affect essentially everybody that doesn't have a site that's mobile friendly. So Google's job's really to sort the world's information and provide the most relevant results to the users. And sort of on that, it really wants to provide a great user experience. So as of pretty much today, they're going to be rolling out what we're calling Mobile Geddon. And if your site isn't mobile responsive and can be viewed well on a mobile device, then essentially it's going to you won't be ranking on a mobile device.
So what are the practical steps SMEs should be taking to ensure they have this in place?
Well, the best one that we recommend, is making sure that your site is mobile responsive. Now, bearing in mind, Google caches websites every 2 weeks, so if for whatever reason you aren't ready for this update today, Google's going to be checking your website really every 1 to 2 weeks. So one of the things you can do is contact a web provider or someone like ourselves to make sure that your site is mobile friendly. And and what we mean there is that on a mobile device it's going to look good to a user, and that's really what Google's trying to do here, is making sure that they essentially, because when they pull up a search result and you go and see you go and click on a result, it's essentially a referral from Google. So Google wants to make sure that it's referring sites that are going to create a good user experience.
And what are some of the other main reasons why websites should be more mobile responsive?
Well, the main thing, again, it really comes around to user experience and also conversions. So if you've already, say, if you were ranking on a mobile, which most likely you were, chances are that your web conversions would have been affected. So by having a mobile-friendly or a mobile-responsive website, it's actually going to massively increase your web conversions overall. So it's in everyone's interest. The other thing is, if you're a local business, chances are that over 60% of people now are going to be looking for you prior to visiting or whatever it is via a mobile device. So another big reason to get on board with this change.
And how tricky is it to make these changes, and ultimately how cost-effective is it to do so?
It's actually relatively cheap. You can. We're talking a few $100s to be able to convert a site over to mobile friendly, and the key word there is responsiveness as well. So what we're sort of referring to in the game there is making sure that your website can be viewed on every device and it's going to look good. So if it's on a tablet, a mobile, a desktop, it's going to look really good. The key thing with this update, though, is it is only affecting mobile and smartphones. It's not affecting iPads at this stage, and that's primarily due to the larger real estate that you do have on a screen. And
what's the way forward for Google? I mean, there's been a bit of speculation Google's going to have a separate search algorithm for websites that are mobile responsive and ones that are just used on a desktop. So what does this mean?
Well, that's essentially what we're seeing. We're seeing, Google favouring sites that are mobile responsive for the mobile search, and making sure that the users have a good experience, because if they're sort of all too often you have to zoom in and this sort of thing on a website, and it's just not a great user experience. So it's not good really for Google to be referring to sites that are essentially not a great user experience. And
Ben, for the SMEs, what roadblocks are they creating for themselves by not being mobile responsive?
Well, it's if you're not on Google in today's digital economy, you're missing out. It's as simple as that. And what we do know is mobile's going through an exponential growth. The average user checks their phone over 100 times a day. There's more mobile phones on the planet now than toilets. So we have to be part of it. If you're a business owner now, you have to be thinking mobile, and especially if you're a local SME, it's even more important to be thinking mobile. So, and as of today, if you're not mobile responsive, you're just not going to appear on a mobile search engine.
Ben, thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure.